Greetings. I am going to go on a small rant today. Not really a rant, but of some beneficial things. So let's preface it with this. Sorry, I had to adjust something. Let's preface everything with this. I am a massive introvert. I am. Like, crazy massive. Like, usually, I don't want to talk to people. I don't want to see you. I would like to hide in my house, do my own thing, talk to my close friends and family. That's about it. Um, I've always been like that. With that being said, the more I try to get involved with business stuff, the more I try to be successful in life, the more I try to learn about this, learn about that, get promoted, make more money doing this, blah, 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 all this stuff. The more I do this, the more I realize one thing. Talking to people, for one, obviously, this isn't a secret. Talking to people is kind of essential to like everything, and especially when it comes to becoming successful. With that being said, I took a little bit of a ballsy gander today and had and asked to go get lunch with someone who's feels like they're way out of touch for me, right? Like, I mean, this is the equivalent of if you were working at like, I don't know, let's say you work at freaking like Apple, okay? You work at Apple, you're just chilling there, you're just some guy. And I basically walked up to the CEO of Apple and was like, "Hey, buddy, let's go have lunch. I want to talk about stuff." They said yes. That's crazy. Not that I thought they'd say no, but like you would think in your head, right? Like going and talking to someone this important, they're either gonna not care about you or they're just going to, if it's your own company, even they're just gonna fire you or some shit. Apparently not. I've been reading in some of these books and stuff I've been talking about that, and apparently that's not the case. I would recommend anyone looking to learn more and to improve themselves to try this. I mean, genuinely, because even the person that I was talking with today said the same thing that I've been learning, that biologically humans just want a connection. Like we just want to be connected to other people, and that's pretty much it. So even like people robbing a damn bank, like negotiators, usually the good ones are just going to try to connect with them. Like they're going to say something like, "Oh, it seems like you don't want to go back to jail." Something simple like that. And then all of a sudden there's like a relation there because you're stating out loud how they feel, they know how you feel, and now you have that connection, you can possibly persuade them. It's the same thing with everything. Like, I mean, it's interesting because I used to be on the opposite end of this thought process. Even with like the example I gave, like if you were asking like the CEO of freaking Apple or like IBM or some whatever, some massive freaking company, Google, sure, to go out to lunch for you, it probably is nice sometimes if you think about it. Because imagine if you were like we'll call it the throne. You're at the top of the throne, right? You're sitting there in your chair, looking down at all your employees or all these people make less money than you. There's probably like 99% of them that are scared to talk to you, like I was just saying. So I'm sure maybe it doesn't get lonely, but it's like I'm sure you're just a normal guy and you're like, okay, guys, come on. Like I'm not like some big scary creature. So when someone does approach you, I'm sure it is actually pretty nice. So just a recommendation out there. I think it would benefit a lot of people. You learn a lot. And it's also kind of a confidence boost, to be honest. So that my day has been excellent. And even with that, I think I mentioned it in my last recording. I've been horribly reading, actually. I need to really get back on it. I've just been so busy with projects and things. And busy kind of slacking sometimes, to be honest with you. This book, I've already showed it. This Never Split the Difference book, actually cool as shit. It just teaches you how to like negotiate and understand people and talk about the things you want and or want to get and achieve out of people. And it's actually pretty cool to read. Like it'll talk about like you know, kind. I almost said boring. It'll talk about just like the lessons and stuff you're supposed to learn, but the guy who wrote it, Chris Voss, I guess was actually like a former FBI negotiator for like hostage situations and stuff. So he'll talk about these and talk about the things he employed to fix these, and it makes it more interesting. Instead of just reading some like boring ass book, right? You actually get to hear about like all these crazy things going on, what they did, and then he'll explain the mindset behind it and how it works. I mean, even today with my lunch with this person, I used some of it, and I mean, just like it said, it all boils down to like if you treat people like they're human, and you just actually genuinely want to become friends with people, everything becomes better. It's like the same way when you're working in. I'll even do this because this happened to me all the time and it was always so funny. Let's say you're in like a basic customer support role, right? Whether you're like a cashier or you're God, that light is bright. Oh my God. Sorry. It's like blurring my face out. Let's say you're like in like a general support role, right? Whether you're a cashier or you work for like a help desk company in IT or something, right? You just take all these people's calls all the time. You're gonna get a lot of people that are yelling at you endlessly. They're gonna call and they're gonna be like, "Hey man, you suck. You're freaking stupid. You're lame. I hate you. You should get off the phone now." Or they would say worse things that I don't want to say. Um, and the whole day you basically feel like shit, right? You're like, "Man, I hate this job. These people suck. Everyone's a dickhead all the time." But you get that one person every once in a while who will hop on to work with you and will literally be like, "Hey man, I know your day's probably been horrible. I'm sure you deal with assholes all the time." And then they'll just preface before they ask their question with that. Usually it will put almost literally anyone in a better mood because it's like, again, it's that connection. It's like, thank God someone finally understands my suffering. Thank freaking God. And then all of a sudden you start talking more, and then you're probably more willing to help this guy because he's actually cool versus person over here who's yelling at you or treats you like a stranger. Um, I mean, it's the same thing, and you can get and learn so much. So this is coming from an introvert, and you see trash posts like this on LinkedIn all the time, where everyone's like, "Oh, networking is important. You should really network. It's all networking. Oh." But no one like talks. There's not that many people that talk about how to do it, what it is, blah blah blah. Just become friends with people, man. And it does suck, and it's kind of awkward. Again, coming from someone who doesn't want to talk to anyone, it's kind of weird. But I mean, like, just try to make those genuine connections. Like, even if there's one thing you can relate on, like, even if you think this guy is a total loser, or you just think you won't get along with him at all, let's say he has a sticker on his car, right? When he pulls up to greet you or something, he has a sticker on his car from like a video game you like a lot. Bring that up, whatever. Just bring it up immediately. Be like, "Hey man, I saw you got a sticker from that. What do you do in that?" Immediately going to spark a conversation. It's going to feel natural, and then all of a sudden they like you a little more instantly. Um, so I've learned a lot with that. The status on my business adventures were hesitant. Not gonna lie, because it is going to cost a little bit more money than I expected. Yes, and that's fine. Um, After talking with a lot of people who have more experience than me, and like I said earlier, taking that shot to try to speak to people that I didn't think I could speak to, I think I'm going to refrain from a bank loan or something because banks charge a shit ton of interest for those who don't know, especially for loans. So, if you take out, I don't know, this is just random numbers, don't quote me on this. If you take out like $100,000 loan on like 20% interest every year, well, shit, if you take 6 years to pay that off, instead of paying off $100,000, you're paying off $220,000 or, however much. You pay off way more. I think I'm going to try to find investors. Don't know if that's going to work. We're going to try. So, create a business model, business plan to pitch it. And I'm just going to try to talk to people and see, like, reach out to people, say, like, "Hey, man," or whoever, "you want to go out to lunch? I could take us out for lunch just to get to know you and kind of talk to you and share some things." There's a lot of people out there I have come to learn, and especially after talking to the person today. They say it in books, but it's interesting hearing it from a person in real life. There's a lot of people that are just looking for some shit to throw their money at. And it's kind of crazy. Like, coming from someone where I go to the store and I'm like, "Damn, dude, it's $10 for a freaking loaf of bread right now. Holy shit. What am I supposed to do?" It's crazy hearing there's people that are like, "Yeah, that sounds interesting. Here's $500,000. I'll take however much of it." It's like, oh my god, these people exist. They could just do that. So we're gonna try it again. I could totally fail. There's a chance that I come back in like a week from now or something, or whenever I record my next video. There's a chance I come back and I look like shit, and I go, guys, we failed. Literally lost everything. The whole business idea is gone. It's worthless. Very good chance of that. So yeah, I'm done. I'm done ranting. Basically, lesson of the day, kids. Talk to people. Try to be friendly. I know for a lot of us, it is very hard. It is very awkward. It's hard making these videos and pushing myself to post them. It is. Just try to get out there at least a little bit and get people to like you, because you never know when it's going to come back to be good. And then update on the company, as they just kind of stated. We're definitely ignoring loans, and we're going to look at some possible investors and see if we can get something going with that. And I'm going to try to file a patent for my prospective design. No idea how any of that works. No idea how to do any of it. But we're going to talk to some people. We're going to figure it out. And we're going to go from there. So I will update everyone next time.